Welcome into Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I'm Meghan Payton. We've got some Steelers news and rumors to talk about as they end their season. But first, of course, we are going to be talking Big Ben, sending him off right. Go ahead and like this video if you're appreciative of Ben Roethlisberger and you still love him even though his time is over. So, of course, a very disappointing loss for the Steelers in the AFC Wild Card playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs. If you missed our recap video, go ahead and check that out. But I'd say it was worse than I thought it would be. I knew that the Steelers would struggle. The Chiefs are a very good team. There's no doubt about it. But the 42-21 loss really wasn't great for the Steelers. And again, I said this with the Chiefs game back in Week 16. I don't know if this score even does it justice. It felt like it was even further off than what this score says. I do feel like the Steelers fought very hard, though. So as we look ahead to 2022, you can't say that they didn't try. They gave it their all. Big Ben gave it everything he had. That offensive line, they were working hard, guys. I know that this isn't maybe an A-plus roster right now. They're going to have to change a lot of stuff, but they gave it everything they had, and there's going to be some decisions that come with the 2022 roster. And the first guy that we're probably going to be talking about is JuJu Smith-Schuster. I'd say, as I was thinking about him, I started thinking, all right, no way is he coming back to Pittsburgh. I just don't see it happening. He's a free agent during this offseason, but maybe he actually wants to stay in Pittsburgh. We're going to tell you what he said after the game during his press conference. But JuJu returned from his shoulder surgery for this AFC Wild Card match, a very unexpected recovery. We didn't talk much JuJu after he got hurt, but he was clearly working hard to get back. And now he signed a 1-year contract last offseason. So yes, as we get into the offseason, he is a free agent. He can go wherever he'd like. Does he want to go back to Pittsburgh? It sounds like he is definitely open to it. He said after the game last night that honestly, it would be a blessing to stay in Pittsburgh. I love the city. I love the fans. I love Coach Tomlin. I love the coaches and my teammates, players, everyone from the media side to the training room. It's been unbelievable. My career here has been amazing. It would be nice to stay here and play with these guys and the same coaches. It would be nice to stay for another 4 years. Now, that's a pretty big statement. A lot of the times players are asked these questions after the season. What are you going to do next year? And players give very vague answers of like, I love this team, but we'll see what happens. JuJu straight up said, I would love to be here for another 4 years. So I'm going to take his word for it and say, hey, maybe he wants to come back. He really didn't get much playing time at all this season, clearly, after going out in Week 5 with that shoulder injury. So I'd like to see JuJu back, but I'll ask you guys, our pinned comment for today's show is, do you want JuJu on the Steelers team in 2022? If you do, type Y for yes. If not, type N for no. Now is the chance. Go ahead. If you get the ad break, scroll on down, get your votes in. And yeah, I'm taking JuJu any day. Right now, I think he still has a lot more to give. He's young, as we know. You look at what he's done over just 4 years. Clearly, it's been impressive. 2017, he had 917 yards. Then 2018, kind of a standout year for him, 111 receptions, 1,426 yards, 7 touchdowns. 2019, not as stand up, but also dealing with injuries. 2020, also a good year for JuJu. And of course, in 2021, we didn't see much of him. So I think that JuJu would like to be back in Pittsburgh, but just like the media asked him, I'm thinking the same thing. He's thinking about what quarterback is going to be throwing the ball to him and if that's going to have an impact. He was actually asked about the quarterback decision and how that'll impact his decision to stay in Pittsburgh. And he said, obviously, we have Mason Rudolph, we have Dwayne Haskins, we have guys. You just never know. Obviously, it's going to be in the talk with Coach Tomlin, the offensive coordinator, and everyone. It's a very important thing. So I would love to see JuJu back next year, absolutely. But also, I understand where he's coming from. He's going to want the right guy under center throwing the ball to him because that is affecting his career directly. If they have an inexperienced guy that he doesn't trust, he's not going to want to stay in Pittsburgh. That's the reality of it. No matter how long or how many times JuJu can say, hey, I want to be a Steeler the next 4 years, it really does come down to the quarterback position. And of course, we are going to be talking the quarterback position a lot now that we are officially in the offseason. And no, Big Ben hasn't officially retired, but he's pretty much done everything but make it official. So guys, now is the time. I plugged you guys the Big Ben stuff yesterday. I've got some great Steelers gear to tell you guys about. Rep your favorite team during the off season. I always think it's cool to see guys, girls wearing Steelers gear or sports gear after the season's over. So go to chatsports.com/Steelers combo. Right now, this Steelers and hat combo, Steelers shirt hat combo, is 25% off. They're running out. This is a very popular item, and it makes sense. It's a great combo, good price. Now's the chance. Go to chatsports.com/Steelers combo. Get a 25% off shirt and hat today. All right, back to the offseason. There's going to be a lot of decisions that happen. And yes, the glaring one is the quarterback position. Now, Big Ben hasn't officially, as we said, retired, but it's pretty much over. Now, I do think that we do have to take a moment to think about everything that he's done. There's going to be plenty of replacement talks as the weeks come on and we start getting closer into the offseason. But I'll just straight up ask you guys right now, who do you want as the Steelers' next starting quarterback? Go to the comments right now. Maybe it's a guy that you want the Steelers to sign in free agency. Maybe it's someone you want them to trade for. Maybe it's a guy in the draft that you like. I don't care. Or maybe it's a guy on the roster right now, Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins. There's a lot of options. So we're going to get into this in a future video, but go to the comments right now. Let me know who you want as your starting QB next year. And by the way, guys, this is why you subscribe to Steelers Talk, because I'm promising you right now, we are giving Big Ben one last send-off video probably. Then we are going to talk replacements. Who is going to be the Steelers' next quarterback? So if you guys have not already, go make sure you are subscribed to Steelers Talk so you are in the know with everything going around Pittsburgh. You can go to youtube.com/Steelers TV or click that big red button, and I promise we will keep you updated with all of the quarterback rumors. All right, Big Ben is, though, closing it out. Of course, not official, but he did say, I'm going to do everything I can to be the best husband and father I can be. It's going to be different, going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. That was in his presser after the game. Asked about this next chapter of his life. So he's pretty much acknowledging that it is now over, but I do think it's time for us to just acknowledge what's next up for him. It might be the family and the kids, but it's also going to be Canton, Ohio, guys. Big Ben is definitely a future Hall of Famer. He led the league in passing yards in both 2014 and 2018. Roethlisberger had 418 touchdown passes, 8th most of all time. That's pretty impressive. He's obviously a 2-time Super Bowl champion. This list could go on and on. 6-time Pro Bowler, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Clearly a guy that is respected in Pittsburgh. 18 years with the same organization. So I don't know. I think about everything that Big Ben has done in his career. And I also think about the generations that he's, kind of affected, all from, young kids right now to guys and girls that are a little bit older. So I think everyone has a different Big Ben memory. So I ask you guys right now, let's reflect on some of Roethlisberger's, best times. Go right now. Let me know what your favorite Big Ben memory is. He did say it is time to officially pass the torch. So he is handing it off to a guy that we also love here in Pittsburgh and we expect to be here next year. That is Cam Heyward. He said, I gave Cam a big hug and told him it's on him now, teaching and holding guys to the Pittsburgh standard. Now, I don't think there's anyone better to do this than Cam Heyward. Heyward is the perfect person to pass this off to. We've talked about him a good amount this season, but more so on the side of what he does as a defensive player, which is very impressive. He had 10 sacks this season, 15 tackles for loss, 89 tackles, and 1 forced fumble. But more importantly than just these stats, I think the reason Big Ben mentioned him specifically is just the way that he is off the field. He's a leader. He's a team captain. He's a guy that you want on your roster, and he's someone that can lead the Steelers to the playoffs. So, guys, I think it's going to be interesting to see what Pittsburgh does as we get into the offseason. And there's going to be a lot of things we have to talk about. So right now, if you guys want to ask us any questions, we are going to be doing a mailbag show later in the week. So go to the comments, use hashtag Steelers, ask us whatever you'd like, and we'll pick our favorite questions and talk about it on our next mailbag show. But you do have to be subscribed if you want to be featured on our show. So we'll go to youtube.com/SteelersTV or click that big red button.